Hello and welcome to Braver Technology. The point of this video is to introduce you to Braver Technology, our services, what we do for you, and more importantly, how to contact us. So with that, let's get going. All right, what we're going to cover on this video is basically a brief introduction of Braver Technology, what we do, how to get help from us, how help is prioritized, your new support system, security and backup, and also key contacts on how to contact us. All right, so what do we do? So Braver Technology, what we're going to do for you is a few things. One, we're going to be your help desk. When you have an issue, you're going to reach out to us and we're going to help you get through that issue and work it through. Next, we're going to give you friendly remote support. We want to get you taken care of and get that issue resolved as quickly as possible. Sometimes remote support is not going to be the best answer. In those cases, we're going to come out on site and we're going to take care of you on site, giving you the best possible option that we can and basically the friendliest support that we can. We're also going to help you plan and improve your network. So we want to work with you to keep going and keep moving forward with your network and have you move to that next level so that your network is great now, but also going forward and what's in the best interest of the company on an ongoing basis. To help do that, we're going to have regular VCIO meetings with you. We're going to meet with you one-on-one, check and see how are you doing, what's the plans for your company, what do you plan on doing going forward, and then how do we make your IT needs match the planning of your company. The goal is to have a nice long-term goal and a roadmap on what's going to move forward. And then of course, on top of that, we're going to do daily monitoring. We're going to keep an eye on your network and we're going to try and get a proactive approach. We're going to try and catch those problems before they happen. All right, so let's get into the most important thing, how to contact us. So most of the time for support requests, you're going to just email us. That email address is support@bravertechnology.com. When you have questions regarding account management, whether it be what the status of your account is, or typically sales, how do we purchase things, or what's the best thing to buy for a particular scenario, that's going to be the account manager. And on that, you're going to do sales@bravertechnology.com. When you have general administrative questions, you're going to email admin@bravertechnology.com. Those might be questions on invoices or billing or anything like that. And then of course, down below, you're going to see all the phone numbers that you have available to reach us at any point in time. Key thing is we have live people answering that phone throughout the business day, so you're not going to end up in an automated phone message tree. Okay, so now that you have a support request, how does that happen? So first off, many of you are going to have an in-house contact person that you're going to go through. What you're going to do is reach out to that person first and see what the best options are that they have. Many times we're going to help train that person so that they can help with common issues and get the problem solved even quicker. But they may direct you to our support staff. So when they do, you're going to reach out to our support staff. The key thing is to know is that when you get to our team, we only hire level 2 engineers or above. What does that mean, level 2 engineer? That means a lot of our engineers have already been exposed to even all the way up to building a server. So the goal is we don't want to pass you between engineer to engineer. We want to get that problem solved with the first person that you talk to on the phone and not some kind of escalation process. You're going to email support@bravertechnology.com. You can always call us. And again, as I mentioned earlier, there is always a live person when you call during business hours. If there's an emergency and you have 24/7 support, your authorized person at your company will tell you, okay, go ahead and contact them. You're going to call our phone system. The nice part is you're going to call just the normal number that you always call, and there's going to be a menu option on how to get in touch with the off-hours support person. The key thing to know about our off-hours is it's done in-house by our engineers. We don't outsource that at all. That is actually done by our own engineers. You're going to talk to people who are familiar with your account. So next, prioritization. When a ticket comes in, how are we going to handle that for you? Well, you'd be happy to know that we have a process in place for that. And that process is to ensure that the highest issues get the most important attention right away. So obviously, if you have something like a server down that's affecting the majority of your users, we want to make sure we give that the highest priority, and you do too. So how do we do that? Well, we have a simple chart here. You can see this chart basically really lays out pretty easily that if something impacts a lot of people and it has a high severity, we're going to give that the highest priority possible. So that means that we're going to be in line with what your emergency needs are. All right, let's talk about ticket statuses. So what will happen, and this is just a sample here of some of the ticket statuses come in. When you submit a ticket to us, you're going to get a response back right away. So that's the first one I want to point out, is that you're going to get a response back saying, hey, we received that ticket. That's really important so that you know that that ticket didn't go into the middle of nowhere. You know it's actually going to be worked on. There's a lot of other statuses that we're going to give you along the way. Another one that we're going to give you is a waiting on client. Why is that important? Well, that's important because sometimes we're waiting for you for something, but you think you're waiting for us. We don't want that to happen. So we have a status there where you're going to actually get a notification saying, hey, listen, we're waiting on you for this. So if you think that you're waiting on us and we think we're waiting on you, that's a horrible position. So that's the goal of this, is that you get a status saying, hey, listen, that we're both on the same page, and you can say, yep, okay, yeah, I need to get that done. The other one I want to bring to your attention is the follow-up one. This one's really key for us. So this is when we think a ticket is done, we change it into follow-up. What does that do? That sends you an email that says, hey, listen, we believe this ticket is done, but do you believe it's done? That's the more important thing, is do you think it's done? If we think it's done, that's all well and good, but we want to make sure we only close this when you believe that the problem is solved, and that's where you get this notification. All right, so what is priority care support? Well, priority care support is unlimited support. Basically, you call our help desk and we're going to give you unlimited remote support. You call, if you need us on site, we're going to give you unlimited on-site support. Again, what we have is level 2 engineers. Our goal is to solve that problem the first time with the first person that you have on the phone. We want the person that you talk to first to be the last person you talk to. So it's an end-to-end solution going through. And we want that person to be able to handle their issue as quickly as possible. We don't have an escalation tree that most IT companies send you through, where they're going to send you through the lowest educated engineer first to see if they can solve the majority of them at a low cost. We don't do that at all. We're going to have you go talk right to a high-end engineer right off the bat. We're also going to perform proactive services. We're going to monitor your network. We're going to monitor your servers, monitor your workstations. Our goal is to catch issues before they happen so that you don't have to call us. We're actually fixing them in the background. Most of the time, you don't even know when we're fixing them, and that's good. That means that we're doing our job and keeping you up and running. We're also going to have proactive regular visits with you on a VCIO status. We're going to keep your network up to date. We're going to keep you up to date and meet with you regularly. So when you first come on board, what happens? Well, we know you may not have a stable network. That's common. Our job is to get you to a stable network. How long does that take? Sometimes it'll take a month, sometimes it'll take a few months. Depends on the complexity of the network and the issues that we need to solve. Sometimes it'll just be a long roadmap that we're going to say, okay, next time this needs to be addressed, we're going to fix it then. But basically, we're going to bring you to that nice stable network, and then we're going to keep you there and keep you going and make sure that all the decisions making forward are in your best interest. All right, so let's talk about our customer satisfaction feedback score. We would love it for you to fill this out and leave comments. We would love for you to leave comments, and thank you very much when you do. But what do we do with this? Why is this so important to us? Here's the thing that's very different about what we do. Our engineers are not tracked on the time that they spend on a ticket. Many companies in our industry, they track how long you spend on a ticket, and they grade their engineers on how quickly they can get through the problem. We don't care about that. We care about one thing. We care about a green smiley face. We want to make sure that you're taken care of as much as possible. Our engineers are only tracked on their customer satisfaction. How well are they doing against your expectations? That's really important. So we'd love you to fill this out to let us know how we're doing and how our engineers are doing so that we can keep on top of this. This is the most important thing that we have and the most important feedback tool that we have from you. And again, ticket's not closed until the problem is solved. All right, so we're also going to be doing some backups for you. So those backups, we're going to be monitoring those all day long for you. We're going to be performing them based on your backup in your system, anywhere from every 1 hour to every 4 hours throughout the day. And then we're going to be monitoring those throughout the day. We're also going to do offsite. If you elect to do offsite, we're going to do those every night offsite. But it doesn't stop there. We actually go a whole nother step. We actually do a test restore on your backups on a regular basis. Why do we do that? Because the backup system might tell us that your backups are running fine. That's not enough for us. We want to trust but verify. We're going to actually do a test restore on your system to make sure that those backups actually are working. We're going to do the same thing with your offsite. We're actually going to spin up your entire network offsite on a regular basis just to make sure that those offsite backups are working just like they say they are. Next, we're going to put in some antivirus into your network. The antivirus is obviously a very key defense line. We're going to be monitoring that throughout the day. The nice part is these antiviruses are going to be updated all throughout the day. So as soon as a new threat detection is noticed, it's going to actually update your system right away on that. And we're going to monitor those. So we're going to get notifications on your network if there's any suspicious activity that the antivirus takes up. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a filter on your network. That filter is going to keep you from going to known bad malicious sites. You're going to get a message pop up on the screen that says, hey, listen, you may have accidentally come to the site. That could be from anywhere. It could be from mistyping a domain name. It could be clicking on some kind of ad that looked like it was a good ad, or just some article that looked like it was interesting. We're going to actually block you from going to known bad sites. So basically the idea is to try and prevent a problem before it ever happens. We're also going to start doing test phishing on your users. This is really important. So what we're going to do is simulate phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are the #1 security hole that you have in your organization. They get through spam filters, they get through everything because they're just normal emails. They look like any other email. There's no real way to detect them, but they're so critical. It's the #1 way that the bad guys are getting in right now. So what we want to do is go through and test you. The other thing that we're going to do is on your users, we're going to provide that next level of security awareness training. If they accidentally click on one, we're going to tell them why they clicked on it, what they should be looking for, and why they shouldn't be clicking on it. We're also going to give you regular security scorecards. What are these scorecards geared towards? These are a 10,000-foot view of your network and the key security issues that we see that you need to address in your network and what you can do to prevent them. The great news is that the majority of these solutions are free. So those are going to be really easy to implement. We just need you to implement them. But it's also going to be updated on a regular basis. As new things come up, we're going to add them to the security scorecard and give them to you on a regular basis so that you know where your network is on the security and you have a nice roadmap to plan out what you want to do with your network. All right, and along with security, we're going to do quarterly cybersecurity trainings. These security trainings are critical to you and your staff. You want your staff to know what you want your network to look like, what you want your security to be on, and what your expectations are for them as users on your network. We do this quarterly because there are constantly updates to the cybersecurity landscape. There's new attacks, there's new threats coming out, so we do them on a quarterly basis. It's really important for you to have your staff attend these, especially when you have new staff coming on board, to attend them on a regular basis to keep your network safe. All right, we also have a Clean Voice. So if you're part of our Clean Voice onboarding, congratulations, it's a great system. As you know, it can work anywhere. It can work remote. It can work anywhere you have an internet connection, whether that be at home, Mexico, Europe, you name it. It'll work on a mobile phone, it'll work on a desk phone, it'll work on a computer. You can literally take your desk phone right off your desk and bring it home. It's spectacular. All sorts of options for voicemail, even to the extent where it takes a voicemail and transcribes it to text and sends it to you in an email message. The onboarding for Clean Voice is actually going to be in a separate video for this, but you should look out for it. It's going to be a great asset for you. All right, I'm going to go through one more time the most important part of the slide, which is how to contact us. So for support, it's support@bravertechnology.com. For sales and account management, it's sales@bravertechnology.com. And for administration, it's admin@bravertechnology.com. And again, our phone numbers are available on the bottom of the screen. There's live people throughout the day to answer those phones. We are committed to make sure that you do not go into an automated tree, so that when you have an issue that's important, you can talk to a live person and stress that. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you on board. I hope this answered a lot of the questions that you have, but if it didn't, you have the way to get in touch with us, and welcome to Braver.